Here we're classifying this conic. Now, to do that, we're going to come up with this. We're going to come up. So we're going to take 4. That's our a value. A is whatever's with x squared. B is whatever's with xy. We have no xy, so that's 0. And C is whatever's in front of the y squared. So that's going to be -1. Okay, so we're going to plug all this in for b squared, so we get b squared 0, 4 times 4 times -1. Okay, and once we do all that, we end up with 16. Okay, 16 is positive, and that's what's important. So we know that that's going to be greater than 0. And since it's greater than 0, that means that we have a hyperbola. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to get this equation in standard form so that we can graph it. Okay, so the first thing you notice here that what they've done is they've gotten the x's together and the y's together and moved the 12 over. So they added 12 to get to here. Okay, now we have 4x squared plus 8x minus y squared is equal to 12. Okay, we're going to eventually have to complete the square here, so what we're going to do is get the 4 by its, we're going to factor out 4 so that we get x squared plus 2x, okay, minus y squared is equal to 12. Alright, now we're going to complete the square down here, so we're going to have x squared, take half of this, half of 2x, half of 2 is going to be 1, square it, we get 1, so it's going to be plus 1. Okay, minus y squared is equal to 12. Whatever we do to one side, we got to do the other. So this is going to be plus 4 times 1. Okay, so now once we do that, we have 4, and then we're going to have x plus 1 squared minus y squared is all equal to 16. Okay, now this is a hyperbola, so we want to get it to equal to 1, so what we're going to do is divide everything by 16. So we divide all this by 16. Okay, and so now our equation here is going to be x plus 1 squared over 16 minus y squared over 16. Sorry, this isn't 16. We got to reduce this. 4 goes into 16 4 times, so we'll reduce that to 4. Okay, and so then that's our equation in standard form. Alright, and from the equation, we know that this axis is horizontal. Okay, and we know that our center, or our h and k, is going to be -1, 0. A is going to be equal to 2 because we're taking the square root of 4. That gives us 2. And then B is going to be 4. Okay, now to draw the actual graph, what we're going to do here is we're going to add and subtract 2 to the x value and subtract 4 to the y value in different places. So let's come up with our 4 points. So for the first one, I'm going to take -1, I'm going to add 2 to it. I'm leaving that alone. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to subtract here. So what we end up with for our ordered pairs is we're going to end up with 1, 0, okay, and -3, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and plot those. So I'm going to go -3, 0. That gives me one of my points. Okay, then 1, 0 puts us here. Okay, now the y squared is at the origin. I'm not at the origin, but on the axis. So what we'll do is we'll just add both times. Add and subtract. So we'll get -1. Then we're going to add 4 to it. So it's going to be 4. Then we're going to subtract 4 from it. So we get -4. So what we end up with here is -1. We go up 4. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we can draw a little rectangular box in here to come up with our guide for this hyperbola. So that's going to be our guide box. Then we're going to draw lines in between it. Alright, our centers. Okay. Oh, it's acting up now. All right. Anyway, we're going to draw a guide. We're going to draw a guide for our asymptotes. Okay, that's our asymptotes, and now we just got to draw in the graph of our hyperbola. Now, A came first. Okay, in this case, so that's horizontal. So what we're going to do is draw in kind of a graph like that, one like this, there, and there. Kind of rough, but anyway, that's our graph of a hyperbola, and we rearranged our equation to get it in standard form.